Welcome back to Two Marks and a Spark. We got our music back, and it is midnight Central Time as we go on the air.
Yeah.
Russ, it's late.
Yeah, it is. It was a long show, wasn't it?
Yeah,
A little bit too long.
yeah, I would agree with that. I was texting producer Damon when the main event hit the ring that it is midnight Eastern, and the main event is just now getting in the ring.
That's right.
Fuck on a
This may
Sunday.
have been this may have been the longest show they've had,
No,
possibly.
no, not even close. This show was about 4.5 hours. Their longest show was 8 last year at All In. Um, the
Wow.
reason that all, the reason that All In show didn't feel that long was because it started at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, as
Yeah.
opposed to this that felt like it. And also that was on a Saturday, so it almost didn't matter.
Right.
But that is what we're here to talk about: AEW Revolution 2026.
Yes.
I actually thought this was a really good show, all things aside.
Yes, I did too.
A newsworthy show, perhaps more than anything else. We got a lot of news coming out of this show. If I don't sound excited, I am. It's just I had a lot of people here tonight, so forgive me. Russ, let's just get right into it. I actually watched the pre-show tonight,
So did I.
but can I bitch for a second?
Yeah.
Because HBO Max really just told me to shove it up my own ass here.
What the,
So
what,
during the pre-show, the feed was not working on HBO Max. No big deal. YouTube has a feed for the pre-show.
Mhm.
So I flip it over to YouTube and we watch the pre-show there. Mind you, I have people at my house for this show. And then I'm like, okay, let's turn on the main show. You know, it's different feeds, so this should be fine. Nope. I could get it to open on my
Pardon me.
I could get it to open on my phone, but the TV downstairs had a weird glitch where it wouldn't reconnect to the Wi-Fi.
Hmm.
So I couldn't cast it. And the one time I got it to cast very briefly, the audio was unwatchably out of sync. So,
I had technical difficulties later in the evening.
and then about a half hour into the show, after, of course, we've missed, a good majority of it,
Right.
the first half hour, that is, I bought the show again on YouTube for $50. I
Mm.
spent $40 to watch this show on HBO Max, couldn't watch the show on HBO Max, and then went and bought it again on YouTube for another $50. AEW made $90 off me tonight, and
I think you should get a refund.
I think I should too.
Yeah.
Hashtag
Def-
give Ben a refund.
Definitely. Yeah.
Oh my god. Like, I don't care if I get a refund for the YouTube feed. Like, the YouTube feed worked perfectly fine. We didn't even have a single issue once we switched to the YouTube feed. But the Max feed just did not work a single iota tonight. And it was fucking ridiculous.
Mm.
Yeah,
So you missed most of the first match.
I did. I saw the finish, and I saw the thing at the end. Anyway, let's talk about the pre-show first.
Sure.
This pre-show had 3 matches. None of them.
Boom and doom. Boom and doom.
This tag match, this Boom and Doom against the Infantry, was one of the worst tag matches I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, that was QT Marshall.
Yes.
All right, I thought that's who that was. And Big Boom AJ and the Rizzler against the Infantry,
Yes.
which is Carly Bravo and Sean Dean. I don't know much about these people. Not very much at all.
Right. Well, this is one of the worst tag matches I've ever seen in my life, with no exaggeration. This was fucking awful.
Yeah, but we did get to see Wayne Brady.
Who cares?
That's right. Wayne Brady. He's going to have to choke a bitch, isn't he?
Probably. Anyway, Boom and Doom win in 7.5 minutes. Do not seek this match out. Do not try to watch this. This was fucking horrible. The Rizzler got pushed, which was really funny. That's probably the funniest thing that happened in the whole night. And then that was it. And then we had Lena Cross versus Willow Nightingale for the TBS title. And these two women said, this pre-show sucks. We need to try to save this. And then failed to do so. Because
Yep.
this was the solo bright spot of this pre-show.
It was okay.
They tried their damnedest for 11 minutes to fix this pre-show. Could not. Willow retains.
Right.
We then have the biggest clusterfuck I've ever seen in my life.
21-man battle royale.
I'm gonna spend way too much time on this blackjack battle royale, and I don't care. Look.
We had 21 people, I guess. I only could name about 10 of them. It went so fast.
I have a list.
Oh, good. You got the whole list. All right.
Yes. It was for the national title. So Ricochet was defending his title against Tommaso Ciampa, Jungle Jack Perry, Trent Beretta, Rocky Romero, Duralistico, Roosh, Scorpio Sky, Daniel Garcia, Anthony Bowens. Hook was supposed to be in this match. He wasn't. Katsuyori Shibata, Juice Robinson, Austin Gunn, and Ace Austin. Now, all the credit in the world to specifically Ace Austin, who seemed like he was single-handedly trying to save this match.
He really came alive there, did he not?
Ace Austin said, "This sucks. I need to do something." And try as he might, he got eliminated.
Yeah.
God bless this guy.
But yeah, he had a good run within the match, though.
God bless this guy. He tried to save this thing and couldn't.
Well, to me, it's hard to believe that Ricochet would be in the match defending his title against 20 people. It's a ridiculous setup. And even more ridiculous to believe than that he is going to end up being one of the last two.
Look, I have seen some awful battle royals, okay? Yeah. I watched WWE in the 2010s. That was loaded with just slop battle royals. This is one of the 3 worst battle royals I've ever seen. And I'm not exaggerating. This was fucking awful.
Battle royals are just, they're kind of cursed to begin with, just by the format of it, you know?
Do you know when this match got good, Russ? In the last 5 minutes, when it went down to Ace Austin, Jack Perry, and Ricochet. The last 5 minutes of this, which were on the main card, mind you, because they ran out of time on the pre-show.
Correct.
The last 5 minutes of this were really good, and I think the right guy won in Jack Perry.
Yeah, I do too.
But this sucked. This pre-show sucked. They need to stop doing these.
Yeah, or just, if you're going to give away a free pre-show, just, don't try to do 3 matches in an hour,
doesn't work.
Give us a preview of the show and maybe one good match, one really excellent match from somebody on the undercard.
Look, I would have much preferred a triple threat match between Ace Austin, Ricochet, and Jack Perry than what we got.
Right.
But if we had to watch this match and that means Ace Austin is going to get pushed, I'm good with that. If we're going to start pushing Ace Austin now, okay, this was worth it because I love Ace Austin. I've loved Ace Austin since he was in TNA.
Yeah.
How many years have I been screaming from the rooftops that this guy's the next fucking Shawn Michaels? And it's fucking obvious. And he just hasn't been booked right.
Well, we'll see what they do. I'm not going to hold my breath because how many times have we looked like somebody we liked was on the verge of getting a push and then they just go away.
But Russ, I've been telling you since me and you started doing this show together, and I was telling Bryce when we were doing this show before you came in, that this guy's the next Shawn Michaels if somebody just gets a hold of him and does the right stuff. I'm serious. He's that talented. He's that good. He's good on the mic. He's great in the ring. He's a 5-tool player. Just use him right, for fuck's sake, and you've got money. But nobody does. AEW has been maybe worse than TNA. Not quite. I mean, nobody's worse at booking than TNA. Let's be real. Anyway, let's get into the main card now.
Yes.
So I just spent 10 minutes bitching about a pre-show. So my review of FTR versus the Young Bucks is didn't fucking see 90% of it.
Yeah, it got a little bloody.
What I did see was really good. I'm gonna go back and rewatch this. I'm gonna go back and rewatch this match. I wanted to rewind in the moment, but I didn't want to delay the show anymore because I had a weird gut feeling that this was gonna go until midnight, and it pretty much did.
Yeah.
So I did the right thing in not rewinding there.
Yeah, it is worth looking at though. Even if you're not a huge Bucks fan like I am, FTR has always been able to have a pretty good match with them, and this was
their
one
sixth match.
one of the best.
This was their sixth match together.
Correct, and the titles were retained by FTR. And then we had one of our first surprises. Go ahead.
I say that it made no fucking sense for them to win the titles in the moment. Like, before the surprise happened, I was like,
I expected the Bucks to win it. I did.
Like, the Bucks just turned babyface, but you're beating them with FTR, who are old and probably leaving, but you're keeping the titles on them for what? And then they hit Adam Copeland's music, and everything made sense.
Correct. Adam Copeland, or Cope, as I guess he is now.
Adam Copeland and Christian Cage finally came back to work after, what has it been, about 6 months?
Right.
They were at All Out in Toronto, and then they haven't been seen since.
Christian Cage comes into the ring behind FTR and attacks from the behind.
Uses bear mace, it looked like.
Mm-hmm.
And Stokely took one hell of a bump.
Yeah, he did.
This was ridiculous. This was hilarious and great. And Copeland and Cage pick up the titles after FTR go running like scalded dogs. And Cope says, we're going to take these from you, boys. This is where it hurts you, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And then they turn around, stare down the Young Bucks, lay the titles down in the ring, and leave. We then had...
I expect them to follow up. Well, I'm sure we'll get more of the story on Dynamite this week. Yeah, go ahead. Then we had...
We then had Marina Shafir versus Toni Storm. This was too short.
I was surprised at how short it was. Very short. It was good, but they never really got much going, did they?
And it never made sense throughout the rest of the show why this was only 10 minutes. I was like, okay, maybe there's a spot later that'll make this make sense. Nope.
Nope. Especially as long a show it was. I wish they would. I wish they would have cut out one of the matches.
There was nothing they could have cut other than the women's tag match, and they weren't going to cut that. But this was very good. Toni Storm wins, and then the worst surprise possible.
I didn't know she was heading in. Had you heard anything about this?
No.
About our old friend. I thought she hated professional wrestling and wanted nothing to do with it. Now Ronda Rousey's back.
Look, I can't get a straight answer on this, and I have been asking all night since this happened, which was at about 7:30. Or maybe it was 7:45, 7:50, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I have been texting people trying to figure out what the hell is going on here. Nobody knows.
Yeah, it's just that, all of her public statements in recent months have been very derisive of professional wrestling and of wrestling fans. If she thinks we're such a bunch of idiots, what's she doing? Just trying to get a big payday?
So this doesn't make sense for 100 reasons. One, Warner Brothers Discovery made AEW fire Trey Miguel for offensive comments he made that he apologized for in very quick order, mind you.
Yes, they did. I think he's back in TNA now.
Now, here's where this stops making sense. Ronda Rousey has said some dumb shit about the Sandy Hook shooting.
Yeah.
And didn't apologize for it for almost 12 years. Why the fuck is she here?
Well, I don't know. That takes a special kind of stupid to make those kind of comments about that situation. I remember that whole issue. It was horrible.
There's 100 reasons this doesn't make sense. That being the top one.
Yeah.
The next reason, if you want me to be honest, she has a fight, an MMA fight with Gina Carano on Netflix, big payday, 3 months from now. In May, I think it's the week before Double or Nothing. So she's not going to be cleared to wrestle at Double or Nothing.
Right.
So is this to set up for All In? That's what I assume.
Maybe it's just some sort of a celebrity appearance and she's not going to have a match.
No. If it was a celebrity appearance, and I'm going to talk about this in a minute, they wouldn't have done the thing they did with fucking Renee Paquette later.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
They do this pull apart with Rhonda and Tony. And this whole thing is fucking stupid. And I've said it 100 times already, and I'm going to say it 100 more. Ronda Rousey in AEW makes no fucking sense.
I agree. I don't know what they're going to do with her. As little as possible, I hope.
Look, it's very clear she's joining the Death Riders. That is very clearly where this is going, that she's going to join the Death Riders and presumably be the catalyst to turn on Moxley. That is the only way this makes any fucking sense, is if she is there to convince Marina to put the knife in Moxley's back.
Right. And if they get rid of Moxley, then he could turn babyface.
But if she's just here to have a match with Tony and leave again,
right?
That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Not really.
Because if that's the case, then we're going to get another God knows how long, because again, Ronda Rousey has a very big ticket MMA fight in 2 months or whatever it is in May against Gina Carano.
Yeah.
They are the headline of that card on Netflix. That is why there was no physicality here.
Right.
There was no physicality between these two.
Not a bit.
Because Ronda
she has to fight.
Cannot risk a fight.
Right.
Because there's too much money on the line. This is all so stupid. This is baffling. I have all the respect in the world for Tony Khan. I really do. He seems like a really nice guy. Mm-hmm. He does.
Yeah.
But sometimes he makes decisions that just make you look at your screen and say, what the actual fuck are you doing?
And this is one of them, isn't it?
And this is towards the top of the fucking list of just what? Okay, first of all, Marina losing this match makes no sense. That's another thing. Marina losing this match is stupid.
Yes, it is, because she needed to win this match, in my opinion.
So here's what I've ascertained from just watching the product. They're burying Marina to push Ronda to face Tony. That is clearly what's happening here. And if that's not what they're doing, then this is fucking nonsense.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And I don't like it because they've got a ton of women there that deserve a title push already.
First of all, they finally figured out that they don't have to wait 3 years after bringing somebody in to put the title on them. I'm looking at Thekla. They didn't waste their time with Thekla. They just put the belt on her because they realized, holy shit, she's a gold mine. Thank fuck they figured that out, because it took them 3 years with Jamie Hayter. It didn't take 3 years with Thekla. I feel like maybe they learned their lesson from the Hayter situation that, we waited too long to pull the trigger and paid for it. They didn't wait with Thekla. Thekla got over. She got over big. They put the belt on her. And I think it cut Statlander's reign short, but in the end, it's kind of proven to be worth it because this Tekla reign has been really fucking good.
I agree. I was surprised. I didn't expect that much out of her, and she surprised me how good she is. And she's different. She's unique.
But
So many of the wrestlers are too similar. She
I
is
want to make
unique.
this I want to make this abundantly clear that it is not Tony Storm or Marina Shafir's fault that this is fucking stupid.
It just
They
is.
have a job to do. I understand that. But somebody really should have piped up in the back and said, "Hey, Tony, Khan, Anthony, Toner, something.
Mr. Khan. You're right. Boss.
Mr. Khan, boss, you know, are we sure that we really want to beat Marina Shafir right now? Who is probably in line for a title match if she wins.
I agree. And I expected her to win tonight.
Do we really want to burn Marina Shafir versus Tekla? Is that really what we want to do? Because Marina's a tweener. The entire Death Rider faction is kind of tweener between babyface and heel. They're kind of in that gray area. So they can have Marina play the babyface there. Do we really want to burn a really good match that you could do a submission match, which Tony Khan says he loves submission matches, but he barely does them? That would have been a really good excuse to do a submission match.
Yeah.
Do we really want to burn Tekla versus Marina Shafir for the sake of Ronda Rousey versus Tony Storm?
I hope not.
The answer should have been no, but clearly the answer was yes. And
I
if
hope
the question was,
they have time to change it.
No, they can't change it because Marina lost. She lost the match.
Oh, yeah, I understand that, but they still can, they can adjust how they're going to use Ronda, and I hope they will because, like you said, it doesn't make sense this time because you can't wrestle.
And then we had Konosuke Takeshita versus Jon Moxley.
Yes.
Which, if the last match was awkward and cut short and made no sense at all, this was a masterclass in both booking and professional wrestling. This was very good. Both guys look better for it. This was a fantastic match. They go 23 and a half minutes. It's fantastic front to back, and Takeshita passes out at the end.
It was, I think, probably the best match of the night.
I think this was the best match.
I think this was probably the one I enjoyed the most.
This was very good. This was Moxley's best match, probably since the Continental Classic. Because he's been wrestling Hechicero a bunch, and you know how I feel about Hechicero.
Mm-hmm. Takeshita is getting better and better all the time.
He's quickly rising into my top 10 currently. He might just be a top 10 guy in the world right now. I'm not even kidding. Anyway, Moxley wins, and then we have the third surprise of the night.
This was a big one.
This was the holy shit moment of the night. This was the most surprising thing of this show, for sure.
Didn't expect to see him back this soon.
We had heard recently that he wasn't going to be back anytime soon, that it was going to be sometime in April or May, maybe June at the latest. But all of a sudden, we get this video package with this doctor and Osprey, and there's a bunch of sci-fi shit going on. I didn't really process all of it because I was fucking baffled because I had no clue.
Yeah, it was some sort of like doctor operation thing with like a cybernetic body and shit, It was
cool.
Yeah.
It was neat. It was good imagery. And then they hit fucking Osprey's music, and this place explodes.
Yeah.
Osprey comes out, and here come the Death Riders, and he's just killing everybody.
Yeah.
And Osprey is finally back, it would seem. This show needs him desperately. They could not have asked for a better time to get this guy back.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him again. He is one of the best in the world.
He for sure is. We then had the Babes of Wrath versus the Divine Dominion in the piss break match of the night, brought to you by Gatorade. Not actually, but that would have been a really funny name for it because this match was nothing burger and a half. Willow and Lena were both pulling double duty here.
Short match.
Very short match, 5 minutes. Megan Bayne and Lena Cross get the win. New AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions. And not very good of what we got, and it was very short.
Yes, and we had a title change there.
And an unconvincing one.
Yeah, Megan Bayne and what's her name? Lena Cross.
Yeah. And this got added last minute, too, so I don't really even know why this was on the show. We then had my third favorite match of the night, I think. Brody King versus Swerve Strickland. This was 15 minutes of pure brutality and perfection.
Very good.
This was two dudes trying to kill each other for 15 minutes.
Convincingly, yeah.
And Swerve had to win. He had to. There was no way Brody could lose this match or win this match as much as he probably needed it. Swerve gets the win in 15 minutes. Probably one of the best matches of the night. In fact, definitely. And
he always is impressive.
Swerve, yeah. Just a fantastic match. We then had Chris Statlander versus Tekla in a 2 out of 3 falls match. And buddy,
this was good.
This was really good.
Yes. I thought this was
these
best
two
match they've had so far.
These two have always had good matches the couple times they've wrestled. And this was their best match. The 2 out of 3 fall stipulation worked, which it doesn't always work, but it worked here.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites, because it's definitely old school.
And Tekla wins, which I didn't necessarily expect. I thought maybe they'd gotten gun shy with her. But no, thank goodness they didn't do that. Tekla wins 2-1. Really good match. And on any other show, this would probably be match of the night, but this show was loaded, and it pretty much had no chance to be that. And then we had this match about put me to sleep. Mystico and Jet Speed against the Don Callis family. What the fuck?
Correct. Don Callis family. We had Mark Davis, we had Kyle Fletcher, and we had who was the third one? Looking here, my note. Yeah, thank you. We had Mark Davis. Not bad match, but it was kind of short. I noticed that Brian Danielson is always telling us, not the first time, that Mystico is the most famous wrestler from Mexico since El Santo. And I was not aware of that. He was that big. I thought that nobody is ever going to be bigger than El Santo.
He's not bigger than El Santo, but he's close.
Yeah. I mean, El Santo, his movies are still playing all around the world. Him fighting them vampires and werewolves and mummies and shit.
Mystico and Jet Speed get the win, and then they flash the Mystico is all elite graphic at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So Mystico appears to be leaving CMLL, which was kind of, the writing was on the wall there.
Correct.
It kind of looked like he was going to move. So, good for Mystico, good for Jet Speed. I'm glad they got their belts back, but they probably never should have lost them in the first place. And we moved on to a match of the year candidate. Legit, out of nowhere.
Yes, and this is the one that I totally missed because I had technical difficulties.
Please go back and watch this.
I will. I saw about 10 seconds of this match on a loop playing over and over continuously for about 10 minutes. And by the time I got reconnected, it was over.
Please go back and watch this.
Yeah. I was sorry to miss this one. I saw the ending
These
of it. I saw Andrade won the match.
these two legitimately, there was no stipulation, there was no belt on the line, nothing. It was just a straight up singles match, and these two had a knockdown, drag them out fight, and it was fucking fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it
21
was.
minutes was this match, and it was perfect in just about every single way. Andrade gets the win.
I'm
It
sorry I
seems
missed it, but I will definitely take a look at it.
it seems like they're pushing Andrade.
Yes, definitely. Glad they finally got his contract figured out. Figured out who he's working for.
But no, Andrade and Bandito both have been fantastic.
Yes, and Bandito also has been tag team champs with. Was he champs with Brody King for a while?
Yes. It
Correct.
was kind of a random mashed together tag team, but it really worked. Brodito got really over.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, a good win for Andrade. He's kind of building his wrestler of the year case very quickly.
There he is.
On TV all year, but when he's been on TV, he's done really good work. I wonder if they're not gonna give him a world title match. I wonder if they're not gonna put him with MJF at some point. Maybe not a Double or Nothing, but I think they have Dynasty.
That would be a very good match. I'm sure.
I think they have Dynasty next month, don't they?
I think you're correct. Yeah.
Isn't it like the middle of April?
Yeah.
Am I wrong about that? I might be.
I know we got WrestleMania next month, but I don't know for sure about the date of the AEW show.
There is an AEW show next month. I'm almost certain of it.
Maybe May.
No, because May is Double or Nothing. Hang on. Dynasty's usually in April.
Okay.
Is there a Dynasty this year? Please tell me. April 12th.
All right.
Dynasty.
That's on what day?
That's on a Sunday again.
All right.
Which means we have another midnight live show to do.
Oh, possibly. Who knows?
On a Sunday of all things. We then had, I think, the worst match of the main card.
Yeah, this is the one that they really could have cut out, and I don't think, not that these are terrible wrestlers. It's just that it just kind of took up space on the card, and it just made the show run extra long.
Yeah, it was Clark Connors, Gabe Kidd, and David Finlay against Roderick Strong, Orange Cassidy, and Darby Allin, and I just had a whole lot of who the hell cares apathy about this match. I mean,
yeah, I think they need to get something better for David Finlay to do.
They need to get something better for all these guys.
Yeah. They look fantastic, but how to book them? That's the question.
These are 6 very good wrestlers that they're just completely misusing. Especially Roderick Strong and Darby Allin. Well, David Finlay just got there, so I guess, give him a little bit of grace. Maybe they'll figure him out, but maybe not.
Correct.
Then it was time for the seemingly ill-fated, no matter what they did from the start, main event of MJF versus Hangman Adam Page for the AEW World Title.
It was close to midnight Eastern when this started.
When this hit.
Yeah, this was good. This was a good match.
You thought this was a good match?
It was very, very bloody. I think it went on too long. Definitely. They could have just shortened it up, or they could have started it earlier. Were you surprised at how it ended?
Yes and no. We'll talk about that in a minute. I want to talk about this match for a minute.
Sure.
As death matches go, this was very bloody, as you said. I thought this was a good death match, but death matches are not for me.
Yeah, this is not my main thing.
This was not my cup of tea. I'm sure it was somebody's. I'm sure somebody really enjoyed this. But we had glass. We had light tubes.
Right.
We had a dog collar.
See that's the part that really took me out of it because a dog collar match is a whole separate category, and here this is supposed to be Texas Death, and right in the middle of it, he brings the dog collars out from under the ring and puts them on. It's why?
We also had at one point in this match, pyro, like a lot of it.
Yes, we did.
I thought these guys were legitimately dead at one point.
We had some real sadistic stuff for people that like to see flesh pierced with hypodermic needles and shit. You
I
know,
forgot about the hypodermic needle.
which to me is just fucking sadistic. And yeah, I don't need to see it. If I want to watch that kind of gore, I'll watch a horror film. I don't want to see it in wrestling.
Well, this match was 46 minutes.
And they started it at midnight. Good God, it was way too long.
46 minutes. Sounds like the 60s, RUSS, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hypodermic needles everywhere, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Anyway, this yeah, I just went on too long and it was too bloody.
Matches, and I don't know why.
What's that?
Hangman loves doing these death matches, and I don't know why.
Mm-hmm. And they both definitely bled a lot, and I hope that they're healthy because they had to have had some exchange of bodily fluids.
Yeah.
I hope that these people that are cutting each other and bleeding all over each other don't have AIDS or other, bloodborne pathogens that they should be concerned about. But, I personally myself, I wouldn't want to go into a ring and wrestle on a ring when somebody else has just bled all over it, Maybe that makes me
swap the mat out. They swap the mat out.
They got to,
Well, thankfully, this was the bloodiest match, and it was the main event. MJF gets the win in 46 minutes and 20 seconds. And what I thought was, for a death match, really good. MJF retains the title. Hangman can no longer challenge for the AEW World title, so they say. I think that stipulation will get broken at some point. Unless he leaves the company, which maybe he will. Maybe he's leaving the company so they don't care.
I think that it's like they used to do the old loser leaves the territory match, and they always come back. It's just like how many times do some of these wrestlers retire? They have their last match, and they have several.
How many times has Bryan Danielson retired now?
Oh,
he retired twice in WWE.
Right. I think it's official now.
And the third time was in AEW. But the interesting thing for Hangman is, what do you do with him now? Because where do you go with Hangman? He can't. You can't just put him right back in the world title picture. You can't do that.
If I was him, I'd take a vacation.
I think that's what he's going to do. I think they're going to take him off TV. I think they have to.
You can't miss them if they don't go away, right?
Well, my other thing too is, look, I don't know. There was almost no winning here because they shouldn't have been taking the title off of MJF. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
not yet.
Right. And
it's only had it since what? About November?
December. Like end of December.
All right.
And it was a 4-way that he won it in, and Hangman was the champ going into that. He's pinned Hangman. Oh, no, sorry. Samoa Joe was the champ going into that. And he's had it since December, and I presume he's going to have it for most of the year. If not to All In, at least when he loses it to Ospreay, potentially. Russ, there is one other thing I want to talk about, but first we should give our final analysis for AEW Revolution 2026. I give this show a B+. I thought this was a really good show. I thought it was too long.
I give it a B. possibly a B minus, just because the two matches that they had that I thought really stunk could have been completely cut altogether, and we could have had a 5-hour show.
This was only a 4-hour show, 4.5 hours.
Oh, that's right. I was counting the pre-show. That's not really official.
No, it's not.
Correct.
If you count the pre-show, this show is 5.5 hours.
Yeah.
Russ, I want to talk about what happened in OVW this last week. Have you heard about this?
OVW, are you talking about the incident with the was it a referee that
Yes.
was injured, went into a seizure?
Yes.
Yes, I read the statement that Al Snow gave,
Don't worry, I'm going to read it again.
and it sounded like a lawyer definitely helped him write it.
Mm-hmm.
It was very legalese. Go ahead.
So I'm going to, by the way, this clip is on the internet. It is floating around. I do not encourage anybody to watch it. It's pretty fucking horrific if you watch it, actually. So I'm just going to describe everything that happens here. They're doing this match. I don't know how many people were in this match. A lot. There was a lot of people in this match. Borderline too many. Doesn't matter. The first referee had already gone down on a scheduled spot. That referee was not legitimately injured. The second referee, Dallas Edwards, I believe his name is, yes, Dallas Edwards, I wanted to get that right, is scheduled to take a bump. It is a forearm. It looks like a phenomenal forearm, basically, but it's off the top rope instead of a springboard.
Okay.
So he takes the forearm. And the guy who delivers the forearm can immediately tell something is wrong, it looks like, because he kneels down and checks on him. The fuck of it is, and where this becomes, I think, a very serious legal issue, is they don't stop the match right away. This guy just goes back to doing spots and spots and spots and spots. This goes for about 2.5 minutes. And at one point, another guy who was outside the ring, who legitimately probably didn't see what happened, as to best as I can ascertain, that he did not see him go down and could not tell in the moment that he was seizing, when it was very obvious this guy was having a fucking seizure on goddamn television, for fuck's sake.
Oh man, this is
a local television, but still television.
Right.
So picture this. Ref's having a seizure. Okay? These guys are doing spots all around him. And at one point, this big guy, I don't know his name, don't care, not going to look it up, gets in the ring and kicks the referee out of the way. God. While he's having a seizure.
What an idiot.
Now, I grant you, it is very possible he did not see what happened. And it is very possible that nobody fucking told him. Because it seems like they're not running a very...
Nobody knows. You know, to allow something like this to happen shows that you don't have the safety protocols in place to begin with. You know, and he comes across in a statement saying that we always do everything we can. You know, they say that the safety of our wrestlers and performers is our number one concern. I'm thinking, well, obviously not.
And then, amidst all of this, finally, I don't know who, the crowd, I think, is who tipped them off, because the crowd starts fucking chirping. Like, hey, this fucking guy's not okay. And then, a couple days later, Al Snow puts out a statement. If you don't know, Al Snow owns OVW.
Mm-hmm.
Al Snow puts this statement out. And I refuse to believe that this was written by Al Snow, because this is terrible.
Yeah. This did not do him any favors.
No. I'm going to read this verbatim because this is just so goddamn unbelievable that I feel like I need to read this. And I feel bad that we're burying this 45 minutes into a show that we started at midnight, but you get the point.
All right. Yeah.
And I quote, "Hello, everyone. This is Al Snow, and I want to speak directly to our fans and the wrestling community regarding the incident involving referee Dallas Edwards at last week's event. Professional wrestling has always carried an inherent risk of injury for everyone who steps into the ring. On March 12th, during a live OVW television event," that's written very strangely, "Dallas was involved in a planned moment of physical contact with a wrestler that resulted in him suffering a head injury. To be more specific, Al, he suffered a subdural hematoma and a very serious seizure. Traditionally, when an in-ring injury occurs, the referee is the central point of communication, assessment, and decision-making." Right?
Yeah. I understand that. But you should have a protocol in place in case you can't, right?
Tony Evans was apparently the name of the guy who kicked the ref. Thank you.
Well, he was, yeah, okay. Tony Evans. Thank you.
Again, don't go harassing this guy because I have no idea if he actually knew or not. Anyway. "The referee is the central point of communication, assessment, and decision-making in this unprecedented situation. The person who would normally make that assessment was the one who needed assistance. The unforeseen breakdown in communication contributed to a delay in stopping the match and concluding the show." Now, I'm going to stop there because I'm already mad at this point. I'm already mad because if you've seen the video, there's no way you're not.
Right.
Because, okay, first of all, there should have been a spotter out there, okay, that could have signaled to the back in some way, shape, or form, or had a headset on, fucking something. Hell, you could have him be on the phone with a freaking AirPod in, for all the goddamn fuck I care.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this shit is not hard. To say, hey, the ref is down, but he's not selling. I think he's having a seizure. Can we get the doctor, perhaps?
Yeah. And apparently, the wrestler who hit him when he said he checked on him when he first went down, but apparently he did not see anything. He didn't notice what was going on.
Or he did and failed to communicate it.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he thought it's not that big a deal.
Anyway, Al Snow continues here. "We are relieved to hear that Dallas is recovering and receiving the medical care he needs. Our thoughts are with him and we're hoping for his continued improvement." I bet you are.
Yeah.
You're going to get sued.
It could be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's a photo of the incident right there. This is fucking horrible. I don't even like the fact that we're showing that right now. Anyway,
Yeah.
at OVW, the health and safety of our performers and officials has always been our top priority.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't look like it.
This continues to get worse. We are proud of the standards we've maintained over the years, but we also recognize that there is always room to strengthen and improve. Really, Al?
Yeah.
With that in mind, we are reviewing our existing procedures and updating several of our in-ring and ringside protocols to ensure we continue to meet the highest expectations for performer safety.
Yeah.
These updates include enhanced communication systems, additional referee training, and expanded ringside response measures to help ensure that a situation like this is identified and addressed as quickly as possible. We appreciate the concern and passion from our fans. That is certainly a way to word it, Al.
Yeah.
And we understand the importance of transparency during moments like this. We will continue to share updates when appropriate, and we ask everyone to keep Dallas in your thoughts as he continues his recovery. Thank you.
Well, I got a great rule they should think about adding, when someone is dying, stop the show.
Yeah, there's Dallas Edwards right there. Anyway,
well, I'm glad he's recovering, but this situation could have been a whole lot worse. It
could have been avoided.
It could have been avoided altogether. Yeah, exactly. And here's the thing too: if you get seizures, maybe you shouldn't be taking bumps.
And not every ref has to take bumps.
Right.
That is not like a requirement to be a referee. I'm going to talk now for a minute about this whole situation and what I think should happen to fucking everybody involved. First of all, the wrestler who did the forearm bent down, checked on him, and didn't fucking do anything. Goodbye. I wish you the best. I really do.
Mhm.
And I'm sure you didn't mean to do anything wrong, but you just about killed a guy.
Yeah.
So see you later. The ref, Tony Evans, the guy who kicked him,
Yeah.
released. Goodbye. Like, I'm sorry. Like, maybe you didn't know, but you still contributed to the mess. Dallas Edwards, if I was him, I wouldn't go back to work there.
No, I'd think about trying to get another gig.
Whether it's as
Which I'm sure that for most of these people, Ohio Valley Wrestling is not going to be a full-time job anyway. I mean, other than Al Snow, who is doing that full-time.
He says there's a bunch of people full-time there, but I don't believe him.
Well, I'm skeptical because it is so hard for a small wrestling company to stay in business. I know they've been around for a long time, but it's not that big. It's not that big a company, though.
Russ, they went belly up twice.
Did they? Okay.
And Al bailed them out of bankruptcy this last time. So
they're just barely staying afloat. We got the outrun. We got the outrunners from OVW.
Look. I'm not saying if it were up to me, there would be some sort of oversight here that would step in and force Al Snow to sell the company, because I legitimately believe that's what should happen. Because if you fuck up to this level, and if this guy had died legitimately,
oh yeah,
and I know that sounds extreme and like that might not have happened. It could have, and it almost did.
Hey, it
was close.
There's been a few people that have died in the ring over the years, and it can happen, just like an NFL player can die during the game just from regular play. Things can go wrong, accidents happen. But man, you have got to have some kind of thoughtful procedures. So the job of the referee is the one who communicates when someone's seriously hurt. And apparently it never occurred to them, if that person is hurt, then somebody else needs to do it. It just never occurred to them that might happen.
By the way, this occurred to WWE fucking 30 years ago when they started putting their doctor at ringside instead of sitting in the back. AEW has always had their doctor at ringside.
Yeah.
WCW had a fucking doctor at ringside, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
TNA! Fucking TNA! And we both know how broke that company was.
That's right. They got one good match coming up this week. Cedric Alexander versus Moose.
I mean, that'll be good, but like, who cares?
Yeah, like I said, I'll watch that match, and that's probably the only thing I'll look at.
To conclude on this OVW situation, in a perfect world, I would force Al Snow to sell the company, and I hope he does. And if he's somehow watching this, he's not, but if somehow Al Snow sees this, sell the fucking company, Al. You fucked up. And I'm sure Jim Cornette is going to say the same thing when he fucking rings your ass on the experience this week. And everybody that's followed this show for any amount of time will know I am no Cornette fan, but I will be listening to the show this week.
Yeah.
You better bet your bottom dollar I'll be listening to the show this week.
I like to listen to his commentary about our president. He has a political commentator.
I don't
very left of center.
I do not listen to the experience, but he's already promised that they're going to talk about this on the experience. Yep. And he has hinted at that Al Snow is going to get his ass wrong. And if that's the case, I'm front and center.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
Because God fucking Damn it. How many fucking times does some shit like this have to happen before somebody steps up and says, no more? There's going to be standards and fucking protocols in this business that stop shit like this from ever goddamn happening again. Whether you're the WWE or some small indie fed out of fucking Nebraska, there's going to be some freaking standards that you have to meet.
I agree. Yep.
Because let's be real here, these backwater promotions that we joke about all the time, the CZWs, the fucking, backyard wrestling shit, it's a miracle nobody got more seriously injured than they actually did at these things.
Yeah, exactly. I'm surprised. Deathmatch is dangerous enough that, the idea of somebody dying in the ring is a real possibility, not just a risk. You're doing things when you're injuring each other on purpose, knowing that there's a risk of broken bones and worse. Yeah, I don't find it entertaining.
I don't get it. This is legitimately one of the most disgusting things I've seen in almost 20 years of watching professional wrestling.
Well, about a year ago, you remember there was another referee incident, a referee in Canada who got sliced up by a wrestler. That was a horrible incident also, but boy, it makes you think, I definitely don't want to be a referee. Too dangerous.
We're just a couple of podcasters on the internet. We fully acknowledge that. But there needs to be some sort of protections for shit like this. First of all, if OVW does not get sued out of their ass for all the money they have and then some.
Yeah, this possibly could end the company.
It might. This could be the end of OVW. And you know what? Maybe it should be. If this is how we're going to run the show, maybe it should be.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that because I have a lot of respect for OVW. I have a lot of respect for Louisville as a wrestling territory. I have a lot of respect for the Ohio Valley area.
Oh, but yeah.
This cannot keep happening. Whether it's an OVW, WWE, AEW, and by the way, I rang WWE's fucking neck for the Zoe Stark incident a few months ago. I was calling for people's heads in that, and that was a whole lot less severe in the grand scheme of things than what the fuck this was. This was fucking horrible.
Yeah.
And to WWE's credit, they stopped the match a hell of a lot quicker. Almost instantly in the Zoe Stark incident. But she shouldn't have been doing that spot in the first place. That was my point then. That somebody should have just not let her do that spot because that spot is inherently more dangerous than most every other spot you can do. Look, I know I seem pissed off, and I know it's just pro wrestling, but people, this guy almost fucking died.
Yeah.
And look, I wish him the best. I really do. But, dude, if you're Dallas Edwards, how do you go back to work for this company? He shouldn't. He should sue this company. The only paycheck he should be getting from this company is when he wins a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. I'm not kidding.
I don't think they have multi-millions.
No, but Al Snow does. And in a situation like this, Al Snow will be named in this lawsuit.
Yeah.
This is fucking disgusting. Fucking disgusting.
Yes, it is.
It is now almost 1 a.m. Central. It is 2 a.m. on the East Coast. If you are still with us, thank you.
Yes.
If you're watching this later, double thank you. I know we're not on the YouTube right now. We're figuring that out. We'll hopefully be back on there next week. This sounds like it might be a TikTok exclusive episode. We'll be back on the YouTube next week. And that'll be that. Like, share, comment, follow, subscribe, do all that fun stuff.
Yes.
And we will see you next week.
Yes, we will.
On either Saturday or Monday, depending on, because I can't do Sunday next week. So
All right.
depends on what we want to do. But that'll be it. We got our music back. So with that, Uncle Russ, I'll see you next time. Everybody,
So long.
next time. Producer Damon, play our fucking music.